The summer of 2019, a man died in a high-security prison cell in Lower Manhattan. His death launched 1,000 conspiracy theories, but the reality of his life was far more disturbing than any fiction. Jeffrey Epstein was a man who didn't exist on paper for decades. He had no clear source of wealth, yet he possessed the keys to the most exclusive circles of power on the planet. From the halls of Harvard to the corridors of the White House and the palaces of the British monarchy, Epstein was the ultimate +1. But behind the curated image of a billionaire philanthropist lay a dark, systematic machinery of human trafficking and potential international espionage. Today we go back to the very beginning. We aren't just looking at the crimes, we are looking at the system that allowed Jeffrey Epstein to thrive. This is the complete history of a shadow. Part 1, the Brooklyn Prodigy and the Dalton Mystery. Jeffrey Edward Epstein was born on January 20th, 1953, in Brooklyn, New York. His father, Seymour, worked for the New York City Department of Parks and Recreation. It was a solid, middle-class upbringing. Jeffrey was bright, particularly in mathematics, skipping 2 grades in school. He attended Cooper Union and later NYU, but here is the first red flag in the Epstein mystery. He never graduated. Despite having no degree, in 1974, he was hired to teach physics and calculus at the Dalton School, one of the most elite private institutions in Manhattan. How does a 21-year-old dropout get a job teaching the children of the 1%? The headmaster at the time was Donald Barr, a former OSS officer, the precursor to the CIA. It was at Dalton that Epstein began to understand the social currency of the elite. He wasn't just teaching math, he was networking with the parents. One of those parents was Alan Greenberg, the CEO of Bear Stearns. In 1976, Epstein was fired from Dalton for poor performance. But he didn't fall, he fell up. Within days, he was working on Wall Street. Part 2, the Bear Stearns Years and the Bounty Hunter. At Bear Stearns, Epstein's rise was meteoric. He started in the options department, but he had a specific talent. He was a financial bounty hunter. He specialized in helping wealthy individuals recover lost or stolen funds. By 1980, he was a limited partner, but Epstein was always a lone wolf. In 1982, he left Bear Stearns under a cloud of mystery to form his own firm, J. Epstein & Co. He claimed he only managed the assets of clients with a net worth of over $1 billion. There was only one problem. No one in the financial world could find his clients, except for one man, Leslie Wexner. Wexner was the CEO of Limited Brands and the owner of Victoria's Secret. He was a man of immense wealth and legendary privacy. For reasons that remain a mystery to this day, Wexner gave Epstein total power of attorney over his entire fortune. Epstein began living Wexner's life. He took over Wexner's Manhattan mansion, he used Wexner's planes, and he built his empire using Wexner's credibility. Part 3. The Maxwell Connection and the Recruitment Machine. In the early 90s, the final piece of the puzzle arrived. Ghislaine Maxwell. She was the daughter of Robert Maxwell, a British media tycoon and suspected Mossad agent who died mysteriously at sea. Ghislaine was Epstein's passport to the world of European royalty and high society. She was the one who allegedly organized the recruitment. They didn't look for victims in dark alleys. They used a pyramid scheme approach. Girls were promised modeling careers, scholarships, or simple massage jobs. Once they were in the system, they were pressured to recruit others. This was a factory of abuse. Epstein's homes, in Manhattan, Paris, New Mexico, and the Virgin Islands, were outfitted with elaborate surveillance systems. According to survivors, there were cameras everywhere, even in the bathrooms. This leads to the most chilling theory. Was the abuse the goal, or was the blackmail the goal? Part 4. The Lolita Express and the Global Elite. The Lolita Express. That was the nickname given to Epstein's private Boeing 727. The flight logs, which became public years later, read like a who's who of global power. Bill Clinton logged at least 26 times on the plane. Prince Andrew, a frequent guest at Epstein's homes, leading to a massive scandal for the British royal family. Bill Gates met with Epstein multiple times after.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take
I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back.
Spent 12 hours a day at his own office, having catered lunches before strolling back to jail to sleep. The deal also gave immunity to any unindicted protecting everyone else involved in the ring. Acosta later claimed he was told to back off because Epstein belonged to intelligence. Whether that's true or an excuse, the result was the same. The predator remained free. Part 6. The Final Act. Arrest and the MCC. For 10 years, Epstein lived as if he were untouchable, but the world changed. The Nollard Me Too movement and the relentless investigative work of Julie K. Brown at the Miami Herald forced the case back into the light. On July 6, 2019, Epstein was arrested at Teterboro Airport as he returned from France. This time, there would be no sweetheart deal. The feds found a safe in his Manhattan home containing piles of cash, diamonds, and a fake passport with his photo and a different name. He was held without bail at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York. On July 23rd, he was found on the floor of his cell with marks on his neck. He was put on suicide watch and then mysteriously taken off it. On August 10th, 2019, at 6:30 a.m., Jeffrey Epstein was found dead. Part 7. The Anomalies. The official cause of death was suicide by hanging, but the public wasn't buying it. The anomalies were staggering. The guards. Both guards on duty were working extreme overtime and allegedly fell asleep for 3 hours. They later admitted to falsifying logs. The cameras. The 2 cameras facing Epstein's cell malfunctioned during the exact window of his death. The autopsy. Dr. Michael Baden, a world-renowned forensic pathologist hired by Epstein's brother, noted that Epstein had 3 fractures in his neck bones, including the hyoid. These injuries are far more consistent with manual strangulation than hanging. The transfer. Epstein's cellmate was transferred out just a day before his death, leaving him alone, contrary to prison policy for inmates recently on suicide watch. Whether it was a failure of the state or a coordinated hit, the result was that Epstein's secrets died with him. No trial meant no testimony about his associates. Ghislaine Maxwell was eventually arrested and sentenced to 20 years for her role in the trafficking ring. But many feel she is the fall girl for a much larger network. The Epstein story isn't just a true crime tale. It is a story about the 2-tier justice system. It's a story about how the world's most powerful people can be compromised. Epstein managed to turn human lives into a commodity for his own gain and the gain of his mysterious friends. As of today, the names in his black book remain largely unprosecuted. The victims, many of whom are now women in their 30s and 40s, are still fighting for the one thing money can't buy: the truth. What was Epstein's true purpose? Was he a financier, a spy, or simply a monster who knew how to manipulate the egos of powerful men? Perhaps he was all 3. If you found this deep dive helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe. This case is still evolving, and with every new document release, we get closer to the truth. What do you think happened in that cell? And more importantly, who do you think was the most frequent visitor to that island? Let's discuss in the comments.